Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today I am hearing the artist Jota.pê for the first time. Please forgive my pronunciation on this one. We are going to listen to the song Ouro Marrom. Here we go.
No meu peito a mesma dor que afoga, faz lembrar tudo que sou. Sou mais, mesma pele, a mesma cor e sonho pra vibrar feito tambor, guiar meu peito, todo choro de rancor se apague. Nossas filhas verão mais amor que nós, e ouça essa voz, te orarei.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful voice. If I think about it too hard, I feel like I'm gonna start tearing up. I looked up the lyrics, the English translation to this song prior to watching. So I was already kind of prepared to, I don't know, feel some weight, emotional weight as the song progressed, but I can't pay attention to anything other than his voice because it is just so stunning. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Let me do that now. I'm going back to the beginning. His tone, I think, is where the beauty is coming from for me. But then add to that how he is maneuvering through ascending lines and descending lines, and there's just so much refinement. Okay. Take a moment now. Go watch it all the way through because I'm going to be talking a lot. I'm just so excited by what I'm hearing. So we're going to stop and start.
No meu peito a mesma dor que afoga.
I'm under the impression that we're in a place in his range that's just, it's requiring a little bit of mixed voice. I'm saying that because we heard some lower notes, and even here, you can hear some additional press as he descends. I want to clarify, when I talk about mixed voice, that is strictly where we are in a singer's range. When you are predominantly in chest voice, it's a matter of range. We tend to hear singers incorporate a lot of TA muscle engagement, which gives a lot of firm press to the chords. But you can still make lighter sounds. The texture, the lightness, the press, all these different words that I use when describing a voice, that can happen outside of range. You can do that in any register. It's just to what degree. So hearing how he started this, that like lighter, airy texture that we're getting at the beginning of this, I'm under the impression that there's enough stretch in the chords that we're in more of a mix range. I don't know for sure, but ooh.
No meu peito a mesma dor que afoga faz.
I told you we were going to stop a lot. The finesse of that tiny, there's just a hair of vibrato at the end of that note. The tiniest bit of oscillation. And so it adds this little layer of character and refinement without pulling you out of the vocal line.
Que afoga faz lembrar tudo que sou mais, mesma pele, a mesma cor.
Oh my gosh, gorgeous, boomy, rich sound. Definitely chest voice, and to my ears, fully adducted. Throughout a lot of this, I feel like his soft palate is lifted. Maybe not necessarily to the degree that we hear in classical singing, but enough that we're not getting a ton of nasality, and also we're getting that nice open back sound. This is just, it's so pretty.
Sonho pra vibrar feito tambor, guiar meu peito, todo choro de rancor se apague. Nossas filhas verão mais.
I can't. And so that ascending pattern, that sounds, it kind of sounds like a head dominant mix to me. I know some people would call that more of a falsetto or strictly head voice, but there's enough press in the sound that I'm not sure I can go that far. But hearing how he ascended into that with such grace and the lightness in his tone, oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
Se apague. Nossas filhas verão mais amor que nós, e ouça essa voz, te orarei.
Play that again. When we think about the sounds that we hear and the tiny shifts that make such a big difference. The first time he did that, very chest dominant, a lot of press in the chords. I would argue a little bit of twang, a little bit of narrowing at the top of the larynx, and a little bit of nasality in that chest dominant sound. Not a lot, just a little. When he did it a second time, I feel like there was some lift in the soft palate that was preventing as much sound coming through the nasal cavity. Obviously, yes, he also backed off the adduction, so we had a little bit more airflow coming through, but two very different sounds back to back with minute changes. Oh my goodness, I love this so much.
Mais amor que nós, e ouça essa voz, te orarei. Te orarei. Sonho sob meu pés, que as minhas mãos só toquem ouro, oração dos meus pais, e bem mais atrás nosso tesouro, que essa pele marrom suba o tom se for preciso, muito além dessa dor, bem mais amor. Eu sei pelo que brigo, sonho sob meus pés, que as minhas mãos só toquem ouro, oração dos meus pais, e bem mais atrás nosso tesouro, que essa pele marrom suba o tom se for preciso, muito além dessa dor, bem mais amor, eu sei.
Oh, I just got excited. More voices. Something, I think I've mentioned this before, but for some reason hearing him, it just kind of struck me again. When I don't speak Portuguese, obviously, as I demonstrated at the beginning of this video, but I love that the language itself has so many diphthongs. And so when you hear artists sing in Portuguese, you get this like constant motion in the lyrics, in the text, like this like if you think about an O and an U combined, ow or O, like you get this constant rounding that happens, and it's just I just find it so beautiful. And so hearing him incorporate all these diphthongs, not in a way that overpowers the song, but just in a way that really like elevates what he's doing vocally. It like the two go hand in hand, his voice and then the diphthongs, like it's like they both help each other, a symbiotic relationship. It's just so pretty. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, okay. I feel like there was a little dissonance in there, which added some spice, but I love this ethereal sound they've created.
No meu peito a mesma dor que afoga, faz lembrar tudo que sou. Sou mais, mesma pele, a mesma cor. Isso.
Here I'm so enamored with how tight this ensemble is, with their cutoffs and their breaths. Everything is so unified. And then he comes in with those gorgeous, I'm gonna say like baritone, bass baritone notes. Let's hear that again. Okay. I just interrupted their breath, but you can hear them breathe together. Listen for the cutoffs and just how precise they are.
Faz lembrar tudo que sou. Sou mais, mesma pele, a mesma cor. E sonho pra vibrar feito tambor. Guia meu peito. Todo choro de rancor se apague. Nossas filhas verão mais amor que nós. E ouça essa voz, te orarei. Sonho sob meus pés.
If you can, I know these other voices are so gorgeous, but tune into his actual tone. I think the word actual just came out of my mouth really weird. His actual tone. There is, I feel like he's got he still has that nice open pharyngeal space, but I feel like the root of his tongue is very close to the soft palate in the first sound, where we're getting all this rich, warm tone. And then the second time, I feel like there's a little bit of separation between his tongue and the soft palate. And it's got this really, it's just, I gotta listen again. I can't even describe it, but I like it.
Que nós e essa voz sonhos sob meus pés.
Yes, I recognize we're getting an ascending pattern here. It's not in the same range, but there's this really beautiful, rich, covered color in his sound in that first iteration, or not even it. They're not even the same words, I don't think. The first part that I pointed out, and then the second time he went back into that mix and he naturally incorporated more space. And I just, one more time.
Sonhos sob meus pés, que as nossas mãos só toquem ouro. Oração dos meus pais, e bem mais atrás, nosso tesouro, que essa pele marrom suba o tom se for preciso, muito além dessa dor, bem mais amor, eu sei pelo que brigo. Sonhos sob meus pés, que as nossas mãos só toquem ouro. Oração dos meus pais, e bem mais atrás, nosso tesouro, que essa pele marrom suba o tom se for preciso, muito além dessa dor, bem mais amor, eu sei.
Stop it. How gorgeous was that? Oh my goodness. I know I talked a lot throughout, so I won't make this too long, but I'm enamored by, again, just the beauty of his tone. I think, some things are just innate when you consider bone structure and vocal cord shape and things out of our control that make amazing sounds. But on top of that, his ability to just hang out in that mixed voice and do so much, and then the occasional dip down into that lower range, the varying press we heard, whether it was really airy and warm or if it was a little bit metallic, isn't quite the right word, but there was this bit of bite and sharpness in the pressed sound he gave us in this song. So there's just a lot of variety, and of course the ensemble at the end is so many beautiful things. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.